Okay, good morning everyone. So today we are going to do some setting about the lighting. Let's assume you have already finished the design of your game project. You have a map like this. You have the start point, end zone, and also obstacle that was generated by Blueprint. Now we are going to make the entire scene more beautiful, and we are going to design some light on your game scenes. How can we do that? So first things, let's take a look. I have already organized the hierarchy and the file data type on my Unreal game scenes. So you can see that I have AI part, that's the AI generated NPC character. And the second one, that's the blueprint object. The gaming object, basically that will be more about the obstacle that was default object inside these game scenes. And also we have the lighting. That's the things we are going to change. Okay, let's take a look. So inside the default scene of your blueprint of your Unreal game scene, you can see that it will automatically generate directional light, exponential height fog, post-process value, sky atmosphere, skylights, and also sky sphere. And I have two, I don't know why, but I think there's something wrong. So I will just directly delete one. Okay, and volumetric cloud. So what's the function of all this stuff? And what can we do with all these things? First things, let's start with the directional light. Well, it was here. You can click this one and press the F key on your keyboard. So it will zoom in to the object you selected. Basically, the direction light, you can just see this one as sun. It's a sunlight. You can find them here under Add Object and go to Find Light, Directional Light. For this one, no matter where the position is, for example, if I move this one up and down, it doesn't change at all. The only thing will change is the directional. So you can see that if you rotate this one, the sky will look more like sunset. Okay? And if you go up, well, it turned into 9. But it doesn't look good because it just turned everything become black. So that's not the things we want. But anyway, you can using this one to control the atmosphere and also the color of the sun. And let's take a look about the detail. Let's zoom in. So first thing for sure, the most important thing will be the intensity. Basically inside Unreal, we have 3 different physical units that we can adjust the intensity. First one lux, second one CD, and the one last thing is lumen. So we can using these 3 different units to adjust your light, but it depends on the different type of the light that will use in a different unit. So for sure you can increase the number or decrease the number. Okay, so if you go to 0, then it will become completely black. Let's turn this one back to 3. And for sure the light color, that's the things we can adjust. For the default setting is white, but if you turn that one into blue or red, it will change the entire atmosphere. For the rest part, it's relatively complicated. For example, like the source angle, what's that mean? Basically, for the function of the source angle, you can control the light direction and also the light area. Although these directional lighting is an infinity light, which means it will not decay and also it will not fade it, but you still can adjust the shadow border. If you change this one, the shadow border will become more sharp or more blurred. So basically the source angle can control that. Okay, right now you cannot see so much difference, but if you zoom in, then you will see that. Okay, let's keep moving forward. That's all. Basically, I think that's the major part of the direction lighting. Let's take a look about the second one, exponential height fog. What's the function of this one? I want to make this one brighter. Otherwise, right now it's too dark. Let's choose in exponential height fog. Right now, I think in the default setting it's super low. So let's change that. Change this one to 0, 0, 0, which means bring the fog to the default point right here. So what's the function of the exponential fog? Basically, it can blur the border of your game scene. Let's take a look. First things, the fog density. You can increase the number here. Okay, you can increase the number here. And we have 2 things. fog density and second fog data. It's pretty much the same, almost the same parameter and same setting. If we change this, the first fog density probably to 3, well, we will see that, well, the entire scene was covered by the fog. Why is that? And it's because the fog density 1, it will control the near closer fog. And the secondary fog data, it will control the far away fog. So basically, we can control these two. No, we can control these two, and choosing the close one probably can be more clear, and the far one will be more blur. Using this way to do that, okay? But why the color is blue? Why the color is blue? That's because of the directional light. Okay, that's because of the direction light. And another thing is skylight and sky atmosphere. So if you turn off these two things, well, they'll basically the color will disappear. Even you change the exposure hide fog, the color, well, basically it won't change anything. Okay, right now the color is black. Even if you turn this one into red color and click OK, well, basically, yeah, it will turn into red color. But if even you turn this one back to black and white, well, it doesn't change at all because it still looks like blue. That's because the reflection of the skylight and also the sky atmosphere. Alright, so let's try to do that. First things, for the fog density 1, I want to set this one as 0.005, something like this. And for the second one, for sure, it has to be even more blur. So let's come in probably 2 blues. Let's try. Okay, I want to blur the far away things, and for the closer things, let's try. Okay, probably something like this. Alright, so basically right now I cannot see the border anymore. Alright, so that's about the exposures hide fog. And next thing is, what's the function of post-process value? This part is very, very important. Okay, I would suggest you enlarge this one and make this post-process value cover the entire game scene. Okay, do something like this. And why? What's the function of this one? Basically, inside Unreal, we have many different types of VFX effect, which means special effect. That was pre-code and also pre-designed for you. So you can use in this one to do some blur effect, soft light effect, or probably render more high detail stuff, etc. But in order to save your computer memory and also to save your computer resources, it only happens inside post-process value. So if you go outside of the post-process value, basically nothing will show up. Okay, nothing will show up. It only works inside the post-process value. So very important things. Okay, and probably we can try to turn on something like this. The blue. Let's enlarge this one. Let's go inside the post-process value. So you can see that if I move, well, the light disappears. But if I move this one back, well, it comes back again. So basically, that's about the threshold. That's about the function of post-process value. Now I'm going to turn off this one. You can play around with that. About the post-process value. Anyway, only the things inside this value will be rendered. Outside of this value, they will not be rendered, but with a spatial effect. Next thing, what's the function of the sky atmosphere and what's the function of the skylight? Basically, the sky atmosphere and also the sky sphere, they will control the the blue sky color. But after this tutorial, after this part, we will delete that because I want to use another one to control the sky. So you can see that if you turn off this one, the color of the sky will disappear. Next thing is skylight. Basically, for the skylight, it will control the secondary render. So let's take a look, okay? Take a look. So if I turn off the skylight, see, the shadow become much more darker. Okay, the shadow become much more darker because there's no secondary reflections. Usually the light will probably emit from the light source object, and it will be reflected by one object. Then, for example, this object is the light source. It emits a light beam, come to here, reflect one time, two times, three times. So it will create a very soft light source and also very soft shadow. But if you turn off the skylight, basically there's no more secondary light. There's no secondary reflections. So that's the functions of the skylight. Okay, let's turn on this one. I like that. I need this one. And I'd like to probably for the pulse value, I don't want this one. Probably it's too much. I'll turn this one to 1. And for the meso, I will change that to standard. And there are also some amazing, interesting things you can use in the exposure. It will automatically adjust the exposure, which means the brightness of the entire image. And film event. Okay, you can also turn on this one. But remember, if your laptop is not powerful enough, don't turn on lumens. Lumen it can make your graphic become very, very beautiful, but it will also reduce the speed of your laptop. Okay, anyway, I will turn off this one because my laptop is not good enough. Okay, so that's all about the basic setting. But for the next things, I'd like you guys to do the blueprint sphere. Okay, you don't have to code that by yourself because that one, well, it involves many different things. So for this time, just go to setting and please go to choose show engine content. Once you check this one, some of the default engine setting will show up inside your folder, this one. Okay, so you can see that inside this folder, that's the default thing that the game engine redo that for you. So the things we're going to use is this BP, go to File BP, Sky, Sphere. That's the things we're going to use. Drag this one to lighten. Alright, anyway, drag this one to here. So this is the BP Sky Sphere. Let's put these guys to the lighting folder. Okay, so right now it doesn't have any function because we have to set up the light source. Alright, we have to set up the light source. Let's drag and go to here, choosing directional light actor. Choosing directional light. So now this blueprint has been connected with our directional light. So what's this one? Basically, this is a blueprint. Okay, that's a blueprint that can help us to control the light. So see, the construction screen is here, and also this one probably that's the functions, and the material part setting is here. The viewport is here. So that's the material, or basically it's a dynamic blueprint that can control the color and also the light source of the sky. So once we have this one, I don't need the sky sphere anymore. Delete. You still can use in this one volumetric cloud, but if you but actually we can already use in this one to do the cloud. But anyway, for now I will just temporarily hide that just in case if I want to fight them back. For the sky atmosphere, you can also hide that because we don't need that. We don't need that. Oh, sorry, let's turn on this one. It's better. Okay, so now let's see. If I change the direction of lighting, will the sky be changed as well? I hope it will. Yes, it will. So basically you can see the sky become much more orange. Okay, and if I rotate this one, oh, right now it doesn't look good. So let's go to the BP sky sphere. I want to change the star brightness. So if you turn the star brightness, so enlarge the number here, the sky will show up. Sorry, let's say the stars will show up. Okay, so that's the idea. So I'm not so sure the idea about your game. So, but anyway, we can try to use this one to control the light source and also the sky color. For me, it's better than the sky dome. Alright? Okay, let's keep moving forward. Oh, sorry, I have two. I don't know why, but I have to delete one. Okay, so now we have. Next things we can try, somehow we can try to add on some custom made light. So let's just go to here. Usually, I would suggest you guys using rectangle light and also point light. These two is much more easier. And for spotlight, it's also good, but not that easy to use. Let's try. First is the point light. You can see that right now the unit becomes CD, so different type of unit, right? So and also we have a radius. Let's take a look. Let's scroll down and you can see attenuation radius. So what does that mean? Basically, it's about the faded range. So if you can turn this one into smaller, inside this range, the light source will keep the same brightness, but outside of this range, well, it will start to decrease. So let's try to do that. Attenuations. Let's turn this one to 100, and I want to turn the CD probably brighter. See, this one inside the sphere, it will keep the same let's say the same light intensity, but outside this one it will start to decrease. Okay, so now let's take a look about the source radius and also the source radius, source length. Sorry, not source length. I want to change this one to look okay. Let's change this one to candles. It's okay. For the source length, it's basically just control the light, the length of the light. So you can turn this one to some linear lighting like this. But basically, for me, there's nothing special for that. And for the source radius, you can see that we can use this one to control the size of the light sources. So basically for the attenuation radius, it will control the faded range of the light. And the source radius, it will control the lighting area. Okay? So we can use these two to control the softness of your light. See? That's the things we can do. Let's change the color. Probably I think the blue one will be better. And I want to use in this light source to control where is the point light? Okay, here. I want to use in this one to set up the to light up the road. Okay, maybe something like this. I want that be brighter. Okay, for this one as well. Oh, cool. Okay, so that's it. So next part, now we have 4-point light, but I changed the shape, make them become a linear lighting. Just remember, the most important thing for sure is intensity, attenuation radius, source radius, and also source radius, right? And for the length, it will just change the shape, make them become a linear light, or probably become probably a longer light. So let's move the light to the light source, lighting. Okay. Next is let's try to using the lights. Let's go to find spotlight or rectangle light. The rectangle light is very simple. Basically, it's just like a planar light. So if you put them here, let's rotate. So see, this one basically is just like area lighting. It will make this range and this area become a lighting geometries. All right. So for the rest of setting, pretty much the same. You can control the length for sure, you can control the height for sure, and also the attenuation, pretty much the same. See, you can use this one to control the fading area, and for sure you still can use this one to change the different light. But for this time, I don't want to use in the rectangle light. Although I told you, usually I will use in rectangle light and point light, but this time I want to use in spotlight. For the spotlight, I want to use this one to lighten up certain area. For example, like the winning zone. I hope that we can light up this part. And you can see that in the spotlight, we have a cone-like shape. Let's enlarge the light intensity probably to 1000, maybe even more, 4000. Then let's move this one down. Okay, make this one be brighter. So it looks like okay. Right now we are. I have won this game, so congratulations. So next part, the inner cone angle and outer cone angle. What's that mean? For sure, the outer cone angle will control the light range. All right, the light range. And for the attenuation radius, again, that's the same idea. Inside this range, the light will not be faded. It will always keep the same intensity. And for how about the inner cone angle? What's that mean? Basically, this inner cone angle and outer cone angle in these two range, well, the inner cone angle, it will keep the same intensity. Basically, I think you can just see that as a detailed setting of the attenuation radius. So inside this one, the light will always keep the same range, keep same intensity. Outside of the inner cone edge, well, it will start to decrease. Okay, so we can use these two to control the transition and the gradient of the light beams. That's the things. So let's try. First things, I want to enlarge this one, the attenuation radius, maybe turn this one to 800. For the intensity, let's set this one to 3000. And for the color, I want this one can be more like a warm color. Let's say okay. Right? The next thing is for the inner cone angle, let's set this one to 30. And for the outer cone angle, well, it doesn't have to be that huge, so I will set this one to 40. 30. That's it. For the source one, we can make this one more soft. You can see that this part. If you enlarge this one, the light transition will not be less sharp at all. So you can use this one to create a more soft light. So I will turn this one to 500. That's it. So that's the winning zone. Copy this one to another area. I want to have same things in the starting point. Move this one down. Okay, so that's it. So for this one, I hope that it can be a more cold and more probably blue color. Let's click OK. Now let's see. Oh shit, it's too bright. Alright, anyway. Hurry up. I'm running out of my... why there is a... Alright, anyway, I will stop right here. So that's about the light setting. And also one important thing, please take a look. This part is very important. I will move the light to the folder. Please scroll up and go to find the light we just put. Point light, and also spotlight. There is something important thing we have to take a look. First thing is there are three different type of the light. Actually, three different type of object inside Blend. Unreal as well. So first things, you can see that right now all the light here, they are stationary light. Okay. Also we can change that one to movable light. And also we have one last thing, static light. So what's that mean? Basically for these three things, it's about the quality of the shadow and the quality of the light source. If you choose a movable, when the object moves, for example, we have this kind of moving object. Okay. We have this kind of moving object, the shadow will move as well. Okay, so but if you choose the static light, so first things, if you choose in the movable light, well, when the object moves, the shadow will move as well. But if you choose in static light, basically once you back the lighting, And once you finish the light backing and setting, the light will be still, it won't move. And how about the stationary light? For the stationary light, well, it will back the light, so you will see a shadow range projected on your object. That part will be still. But also, there will be some part that can be moved, and it can be dynamic and interact with your object if it's going to move. So that's the things. Remember that. It's very important because usually I would suggest you set everything into static. Okay? It will somehow hugely save the computer resources. So, for example, like this kind of point light, I would just set them as static. Static, static, static. For spotlight, well, if it doesn't going to move, then you can set this one to static. But this part there is some probably, let's say, what's that? Particle. So I can set this one into movable. For this one as well, I will set that one to movable. Okay, and for the things like this, if you are not so sure, then just turn that one to stationary. I think that one is more affordable. Okay, so now I'm going to turn off the show engine content. Right now I don't need that anymore. Right? So I want to open up the smasher because I'm not so sure the things I use is static movable. Okay, this is movable. Let's take a look. Okay, so you can see that the lights will follow the movement of the object. See? Alright, so that's it. So when you are going to design your light, please remember that there are 3 different types of light, using them carefully. Final thing, if you already finished your game project and you are going to demo your project to your teacher or in the exceptions, don't forget to go to build light only or build all level. This one will somehow help you to back the light to your game scene. So everything will look more better and realistic based on the design you did. And you can choose in the lighting quality. The production level is the highest level inside of Unreal. Basically, it's more for movie or more for animation. For the high and the medium, I think it's quite enough for your game project. But if you have a powerful laptop, you can use this one. Okay, so anyway, choosing build on light only or build all level, so it will somehow help you to generate the navigation network and update the brush model and also backing the light for your project, etc. So that's it. I will save the file. I will stop right here. So if you have already finished your project, try to do that as a last step. Okay, so see you next time. Bye.